Today, with Facebook, with YouTube, with Yelp, your customers don't tell the old statistics of when they're upset or angry or frustrated, they're going to tell 9 or 10 others. They're going to tell millions. So what I'd like to leave you with today is that customer service is not a department. It is not the responsibility of one person in an organization. It is the responsibility of every single person that is employed by Invitation Homes. It is the impact that each person has to build up your name, image, and reputation, or to tear it down. It's looking at the experience through the lens of the customer. Most organizations say they do. They say, of course we look through the lens of our customers. We're customer-centric. We're customer-focused. But I guarantee you they don't. Think about it yourself. The last time you called your cable company and asked them to come out to fix or do a repair on your cable television or your cable lines, when did they tell you they'd be out? 4-hour window, 8-hour window, next month, right? And what did you have to do? You had to wait, right? You had to take off and wait. So it's looking through the lens, putting yourself into the shoes of your customers, recognizing that sometimes you've asked that question or they've asked the question so many times to you that now you don't even truly listen to those questions anymore. And therefore, they don't feel as if there's that connection. External service begins with internal service. How we treat each other internally within the organization will have a domino ripple effect out to your residents. And so everything I talk about has to do the same way internally as well as externally. Look for opportunities to create touch points, positive touch points. Everything speaks in your physical environment. Everything you see, hear, smell, and touch. Do I see garbage in the driveway? Do I see a welcome mat? Do I smell the dumpster? Do I hear employees bad-mouthing the company? What do I see? What do I hear? What do I smell? What do I touch? That everything is speaking and sending a message. Is it sending the message you want it to send? And that's when the general manager makes the point. We can have the finest in the menu, we can have the finest in decor, we can have the finest in everything about our physical environment, but look at the impact that your job will have on the experience of our guests tonight. Everything speaks. So it's the consistency, though, that builds the trust, is when you get the same kind of service time and time again that you build the trust. Processes impact the business. Processes should be designed for the many, but flexible enough for the few. Many times we put our employees into the position where they become victims of our processes. That's why it's so important to listen to their ideas, to find out where are the hassles, where are the complaints, where are the frustrations. Every role makes an impact. Every person in your organization makes an impression. If you want to build up that brand, then it's recognizing that every touch point is an opportunity to build that relationship. That the phrase, "That's not my job's not allowed. I only put in the lines, I don't remove obstacles." Yes, it is. It's everybody's responsibility. It's taking that ownership. And it's in taking that ownership that you get people to become invested to your organization. That's what's below the surface. That what I've shared with you up to this point is the tip of the iceberg. It's what you want your residents to see. That we're looking through their lens, that everything is speaking in our physical environment, the message we want it to send. That we're creating the wows and we're making it easy to do business. But in order to do that, folks, it's a lot of hard work. It's got to be planned. It's got to be managed. And so what you see there is communication is one of the top things. You've got to communicate to everybody, that every role makes an impact, that everybody is responsible for customer service, that that's not my job is not allowed in the language whatsoever. That you've got to make it part of your interview and selection process. It's much easier to hire nice people and teach them most jobs than vice versa. That in the interview process, if you ask customer service behavioral questions, you can get more at what is a person's orientation to how they treat customers. So now, if I was just to ask questions, are you customer service oriented? What are you going to tell me? Absolutely I am. But if I was to say, at your last job, when you had an angry or upset customer, what did you do to turn them around? One, I get to find out what do they think is angry and upset, and two, how might they turn them around? A culture of tomorrow begins with the people you hire today. So the interview and selection process is key to find those nice people. And then measurement. Those who measure tend to analyze, and those who analyze tend to improve. Start to measure customer service. Measure it in terms, perhaps, of customer complaints. Measure it in turnaround time. Measure it in employee turnover. Many different ways to measure it, but measure it, measure it, measure it. And then use it to analyze and improve. By giving people that show of recognition, that appreciation. Thank you for doing those service standards. Thank you for being courteous. Thank you for representing us, that makes us proud. That builds up that ownership, because now people want to behave in that way.